Nas used to be unstoppable. At the beginning of his career, he put out back-to-back albums that were as close to flawless as possible. He was on top of the world. But after a strong start, his career started to take a turn, and he was beginning to have a lot more ups and downs. He faced heavy criticism, with many people turning their backs on him and his music.
Nas was like the prince of the hood. Then it was one record. They was like, he sold out.
But why did this happen? Well, his ear for beats was part of the problem. Even when I asked my own audience which great rapper has the worst ear for beats, guess whose name came up over and over again? Yeah. Because of his beat picking problems, Nas's career was starting to fade. He was getting closer and closer to becoming irrelevant in today's music. But then something changed. In the last 3 years, Nas has had an incredible turnaround. His recent run of albums has gotten fans back on his side and critics happy again. So what changed? Well, he linked up with Hit Boy. And with Hit Boy handling Nas's production, he's been able to create some of the best music of his career on the King's Disease and Magic series. It's what got him back to focusing on music rather than himself.
So what do you do? How do you cure the King's Disease?
You know, you kill the ego, make it about the music, make it about the art.
And so today we're going to break down the beats that helped Nas make his amazing comeback and the unique ideas that Hit Boy uses in his beats that you can use in your own production too. Now, even though I don't have the King's Disease, the doctor did tell me that I have a severe lack of likes and subscribes in my bloodstream. So with one simple donation of hitting one of those buttons, you can help cure me. Thank you. Now, there are a few key ideas with Hit Boy's production that really helped Nas, and one of the best examples of this is in the song Get Light.
Get light with it. Day party to midnight with it.
This beat is a great example of tying the old with the new. Instead of chasing nostalgia by using 60s and 70s jazz and soul samples, Hit Boy has a different, more modern approach here. He uses pre-made samples, which is how many producers make their beats nowadays. This one was from Soul Surplus, which actually get their sample used in many of Nas's beats on these albums. Now in this beat, we see Hit Boy making some really interesting decisions so the beat doesn't just sound old and nostalgic. For example, when you analyze the drum pattern, take a look. What you might notice is that there's pretty much zero swing on these drums. They are very much so on grid and quantized. And this is something that you don't see in boom bap beats often. Most people who make boom bap feel like it's a cardinal rule to be off grid with their drums. But that's what helps these beats sound a little bit more different. Next up, let's take a look at the sample. There are a few smaller sampling ideas Hit Boy uses to keep the beat from sounding as repetitive by using different chops and stretching them differently between these two versions of the same loop. But one major idea that I find really interesting is how Hit Boy fills up space. Take a look at that drum pattern again, and after I break it down into its components, tell me if you see something interesting happening here. Look at how minimal the hi-hats are. We don't have that huge classic hi-hat that traditional boom bap beats have. So here's how Hit Boy fills up the high end and introduces pacing into the beat instead. He takes that vocal sample that you heard from the intro of the beat with the drums and he just chops that up. It's a really unique and interesting way of making these boom bap beats sound different and new. While these beats do have some ideas in them that are rooted in tradition, Hit Boy doesn't strictly abide by them and breaks some of the rules to sound different. Another example of a great beat that does something different from what's typically expected is the beat for Done.
Go ask Tony Bennett. Terrace on the park. They gotta know. DJ Clue, Envy.
Here we see Hit Boy choosing to stay away from classic 60s and 70s samples again to make the beat sound a little bit more unique. This beat uses an Egyptian sample instead. So there's a video of Hit Boy making this beat and you can see how the sample is chopped up in this video. There are 3 separate chops made, as you can see. And there's a B version of this loop that has an extra chop at the very end. But what I like about this beat is the transition. Take a listen. Again, this type of unique idea is nothing like what you hear with the classic boom bap beats. So here, Hit Boy uses the 3rd chop for this section, but this time it's looped over and over again. And we have that famous UFO sample on top that's been a staple in hip hop for a very long time, again including a small classic touch into the beat. This is one of the most popular samples in all of hip hop, having been used hundreds of times. But what I really like about this section is what Hit Boy does for that very last part here. For the sample, he uses the same chop but just pitches it down an octave. He uses the kick and goes up on the keyboard, which is a really weird and cool idea. Behind the kick, it sounds like he grabs the same open hi-hat as well, and he does the exact same thing, but this time there's a filter that slowly releases with some reverb. And then finally, he uses his bass to create this musical bouncy pattern as we transition back into the full beat. Just a really cool beat overall, but I especially like that part. By the way, if making cool beats is something you're interested in doing, check out Better Beatmaker, my online beatmaking program. If you feel like you have great beat ideas, but you don't know how to bring them to life, this is exactly what Better Beatmaker will help you do. Come see why so many of my members say it's the top tier beat making program out there. Link is in the description. But back to the beats. The beat that I found the most unusual but amazing at the same time is the beat for Ghetto Reporter.
It's comedy, it's hilarious. Look yourself in the mirror, tell me times like the scariest. For me dropping album after album like it's a various.
Now here we do have a beat that finally uses a classic sample from the 70s. So on the surface, you might think we get a typical beat. But the way the sample's used is really unusual. In fact, it's not really structured like a hip hop beat. Let me explain. First off, the main loop is built using 3 different chops from the sample, but you're gonna hear it sounds kind of bad at first. The reason why this sounds so bad is because of how inconsistent these chops are. Take a look at the overall volume and you can see this visually. The first part of this is pretty consistent, but then we have a major drop in volume and these dips coming in. So here, to help create more consistency, a compressor will be helpful. I know compression can be confusing as hell, so I do have a video explaining compression in a simple and straightforward way. A lot of people have told me that they have been able to understand compression after watching this video finally, so go and check that out. But after bringing in our compressor, this is much more even now. But with this beat, what I find most unusual is the structure. Let me play the full loop for you first here. The part that's unusual is the main kick and snare pattern. Usually with hip hop beats, you have a snare on the 2 and the 4, but with this beat, we only have a snare on the 4, and there's a kick on the 2, where the snare usually goes. And when you take a listen to the snare, it's really different. This is how most snares sound. But take a listen to the one that's used for this beat. It's so thumpy and has so much body in the low end, it almost sounds like a kick. So when we bring these 2 patterns together, we basically have a pseudo 4 on the floor drum pattern. And this is why I say this beat isn't really structured like a traditional hip hop beat. By combining this unusual drum structure with the highly repetitive chopped up soul sample, this is actually how French house songs are made. So if we make just a few changes to the drums and speed this beat up, just take a listen. And this is why this beat sounds so different from a traditional boom bap beat, even though the ingredients are very similar. Overall, we just see a lot of unique ideas in these beats that help them sound rooted in traditional hip hop, but at the same time, the ideas are pushed in slightly different ways so they don't sound like nostalgia bait beats. So let's use some of these ideas in a beat of our own. Here, I'll use a sample that's also from Soul Surplus. I'll pitch it up a couple semitones and create a nice 4-bar loop. For the drum pattern, I'm going to be a little bit more on grid and refrain from using a dense hi-hat pattern to fill up the high end. And then to actually fill up the high end, I'll do something less conventional. Here I'll use the intro from Annie Up by MOP and use the sound of them smoking and rapping as a way to create a cool rhythm, but also fill up the high end. But I do not encourage doobie smoking to the kids out there. Stay in school, young babies. But there we go. Those are some of the beat ideas from Hit Boy that helped Nas make his incredible comeback and make good music again. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If so, hit like and subscribe. If you like these kinds of modern boom bap beats and want another video on this style, check out the video right next to me. If not, then I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you again next week.